Good morning. Can you? Oh, snap. What about now? Bless it, Lord. See, that daughter of mine be on the computer sometimes. Okay, let me hang up. All right. Lord, y'all, I'm sitting here trying to figure out why. I had somebody on YouTube reached out and was like, I can't hear you. And I checked myself and I couldn't hear me neither. Good morning, Shantavia. Good morning, Jerry. Yeah, okay, we bet. I tell you, not this morning. Let me tell you, it was already a struggle getting out of my bed this morning. But I knew I had to do it because I got to get up and get stuff done. So let me just try this again. Okay, we good, TikTok? I mean, YouTube. Can y'all hear me okay, TikTok? Just let me know you can hear me because I now got me over here wondering. And I done just did what, 10 minutes and wasn't being heard. Oh, my Lord. Bless my heart. So I got to try this thing again. Shantae, if you ready to get out there in that cold, you finna get ready for work. I just wanted to stop and say, okay, y'all. Let me start this thing over. Bless my heart. Sometimes it's hard when you think you're in a groove or something, you trying to get something done and you got to start that thing over. But I guess that happens in life. So I know it's cold. I know. Yeah, no. But anyway, okay, back at it. I'm your coach. I'm your coach Tawanda. I'm a certified personal development and goals coach. I am an author and I am a speaker based out of Huntsville, Alabama. And my mission is to help women rebuild faith, confidence, and set clear goals to create the life that they want or they desiring to have. And that thing comes, it gets a little tricky at times. We have to have our mindset position so we can actually be in position to receive those things that we want. So through my coaching programs, workshops, and content, I empower women to move from confusion to clarity, a space that I once found myself in a space that every day still I'm having to work at certain things to stay grounded, keep my mindset straight, and things of that nature. All those things, it comes, we know we're not doing no we ain't co-hosting that. We ain't playing no games today, y'all, because I got to get up out of here. But so whether it's through self-discovery, mindset shifts, or vision planning, I'm here to help you align your goals with your faith. Baby, come on, let's get it. And so what I'm going to do, switch it up just a little bit, 5 days this week. What we're going to do is talk about goals. It is almost the beginning of the year. I don't know about you all, but I do not wait to New Year's for New Year's to set New Year's resolution. Like I just think for me around October, honestly, is when I actually start evaluating my life, evaluating how the year that I'm in is playing out. And then according to that, start evaluating how I want to show up next year. And so I start before the new year. You're not going to wait. I'm not going to wait till the new year because by the time the new year starts, y'all, I am rolling. It's just like my mornings. I get up extra early in the morning and I've been in clean. I don't cook every day, y'all. Don't let me trick y'all. But on the days that I decide to, start dinner those days, I get a lot done. And so for me, starting in October to reflect on my life and reflect on what I want my upcoming year to look like, we just started getting that thing together. So we're going to do 5 days. In 5 days, I'm just going to give you a little snippet of space to start creating the vision that you want. What is it that you want to see within this next year? If you got to think out to get a playing field, a clear playing field. You want to think of take money. Well, you want to take money out the equation of it. Everything consists of money. So we know it's going to take money. It's going to take time. It's going to take some things. But however, when we're setting our goals, we want to look at what it is that we want before the money even get there. It was a piece of lint or something. Y'all see me catching stuff. It was just a piece of lint. But we want to start looking at our life and what we want. Sometimes we can think, oh, I don't have money for that. I don't have money for this. And we don't even put it on our goals. We don't even put it on our list because we're looking at what we don't have. But what we want to do and what I do is think about what I want. And then I'll realize or figure out what it is I need to do to get what I want. Because before anything can happen in life, it has to happen first in our mind. You have to see it before you see it. You have to see it in your mind before you see it. And according to what the thoughts are in your mind, that's according to the picture that we're painting for ourselves in the life that we're actually looking to lead. And it can get hard sometimes when we come from that space of just a lot of doubt, self-doubt, and things of that nature. It kind of seems a little hard. Sometimes it seems a little impossible to have the things that we really want. But it's not impossible. It's only impossible if we tell ourselves that it's impossible. So what we want to do is tell ourselves something a little bit different. Think of your goals as your vision as a GPS. Okay. You're going to think of it as a GPS. But before we think of it as a GPS, we're going to think of what Proverbs 29:18 tells us. Proverbs 29:18 tells us that where there's no vision, sorry, I was going to say man, but we're going to say people. Where there's no vision, people will perish, meaning that if we don't have an idea of where we're going nowhere. Think about just life, just think about what life has been looking like for you. Where have you been showing up? What have you been thinking about? What have you been dreaming about? What is it that, thank you, Ms. B, I'm just seeing that message. What is it that you really desire to have in life? Let's start there. All right. So when you have a vision, you have direction. You know where you're going, even if you don't have all the details. I think sometimes we run into this space to where we want the whole picture. Well, I don't think we're setting ourselves up in the right way when we think it's all going to happen all at one time. So when you think of vision, think of it like a GPS. It might not show you every turn in advance. So you think about your little ways. I use Waze, honey, and I don't like a talking to me because it disturbs me sometimes. But that's what I use. But anyway, that's not why we're here. But at every turn that's needed in those directions, it's going to show up right on time. Like soon as you need to make a turn, that's when it's going to tell you to make that turn. So think about your vision as a GPS. What is it? Where are you going? What directions did you put in there? Are you going to build a business? Are you going to buy a house? Are you going on a trip? Are you going into community service? Are you going into self improvement? Good morning, user. It's some numbers there. I can't do the numbers, but are you going? So what are you putting in your vision GPS is the question that I'm asking. What is it that you want? Because clarity also brings discipline. When you know what you're working towards, it's easier to say no to distractions. It ain't easy. It's a little easier because you know what you're trying to stay focused on, because distractions will come. When it comes down to the distractions that's coming, and according to you having a vision, knowing where you're going, it's going to be it's going to be easier to say no, that's not aligning with my purpose. I need to do that. And it can be hard sometimes because you're going to have to say no to some people. You might have to turn down some things. Like, y'all, I'm going to tell you, building a business, working on vision, goals, and really changing that space and mindset, it can be a little lonely sometimes. Just sometimes, not all the time. Because when you get into that space, sometimes you have to look at your whole life and you're going to have to evaluate and say, okay, is this attached to where I'm going? Is this going to help me to get to where I'm going or what I need? Y'all, hold on a second. Hey, Leah, are you up? Y'all, if this little girl come telling me I'm going to have to take her to school because she ain't up, because I went and woke up. Nana, are you up, baby? I turned your light on about 20 minutes ago. She be acting like she got a job. You up? Go ahead and get up. It's 7:22, sweet girl. It's time to get up. I even turned your light on. Okay, so let's get back to it. So if you've been feeling stuck, scattered, or just in a place of just being unsure, it might not be that you're just unmotivated. It may even sometimes it may seem like I'm just being lazy. No, you might be missing vision. You might have not sat down to really take into account what it is you really want to do. So what are you work? There's nothing to work on. There is nothing to work on if you've not allowed yourself to vision what it is you want. And sometimes I like to write down. Habakkuk 2:2 tells us to write down a vision on tablets, make it plain, so that he who sees it can take and run with it. That's why I do vision boards. That's why I like to write things down, because baby, trying to keep it all in my mind, it's gonna get lost in there some days. And when it do get found, it's probably gonna be, I probably forgot about it and went on to something else. But if it's something that's dear to your heart, something that you really want to do, then let's go ahead and figure out your vision. Where is it that you're wanting to go? You wake up one day asking yourself, how did I get here? If you've had that moment, because I have, like, how did I get here? But when you have vision, you start designing your life. You start making decisions based on what it is you have vision in. You're more intentional about how you show up for yourself in life. And so for me, so we already know we're going to treat our vision like the GPS. What are we putting in our GPS? Where we going? What trip we finna take? What business we finna do? What is it that we wanting to do? It can be writing a book. It can be whatever the things. And I've mentioned all those things because those are things that I do just in general. But in order for me to get there, in order for me to do those things, I first had to have a vision. I didn't wake up and like, oh, I'm an author. Oh, I'm a coach. Oh, I'm a podcast host. All those things came with me writing down and me making a plan for what I wanted to look like, what I wanted it to do, what I wanted it to be. I'm going to end the Facebook Live, the TikTok Live, y'all, because I'm tired of trying to look at both of them. And I keep getting a lot of people wanting to play games and stuff, and I ain't really trying to play games. I'm trying to get up out of here, okay? Without a clear vision, life can just kind of happen. You start reaching instead of creating. It's like you reaching for something that's out there in the space, just wanting something to happen, but you don't really know what that thing is that you want to happen. But when you have vision, as I stated, it helps you to design your life. You're not waiting on opportunities. You're preparing for them. You're in the space. And sometimes when you're even preparing for those opportunities, it may look like it's coming a little slower, all the things. But if you stay focused, if you allow yourself to stay in the space to where, okay, this is my vision. This is what I want. I have boards. For those that know me, some that don't, I have boards all over my house, in my room, in my because I have 5-year visions. I have vision that, from 5 years, and then I have boards that kind of walk me through breaking down that 5-year goal. And so my life looks the way my life needs to look according to what it is that I vision out for myself. And sometimes we look at what other people doing and we thinking that, oh, it's not looking the same way it shouldn't. If yours look identical to the next person, then that means you ain't got your vision. You probably got theirs. I'm just saying, we're not hoping for change. We're creating change. So when you actually allow yourself in a position to say, this is what I want. Like, if you out there in the chat or what have you, if it's a business that you want, if it's a house that you want, if it's a goal that you want, if it's something that you're really wanting, this is your opportunity, your moment, and the time of year for you to give your vision the power that it needs. Where are you going? What do you want to do? So when you look at the next year, right, in this next year, what do you want to do? And now today is just going to be day one. Throughout this week, if you catch me here, bring your pencil and paper, and we're going to write down, and we're going to track. We're going to get you from where you are to where you want to be. How? By first determining that you have a vision. It is somewhere you wanting to go. So let's give your vision power. It pulls you out of the past and propels you to the future when you allow yourself to be in a space to where, I already know what this one is about. Hold on. Hello. Good morning. I had came off hood on TikTok and I was on YouTube, but for you, I'll go back on. Yeah. Okay. See, that's when being consistent and you don't even be knowing or thinking somebody is popping up or whatever. It's just the consistency. But I turned the live off on, just a side note. So I turned the live off on you on TikTok because like I don't know what it is this morning, but it just kept popping up. Everybody's just trying to come in and do the games or what have you. And I ain't here to play this morning. I'm here to just share some information. So, how do you start identifying your vision? Let's talk about it. How do you begin to identify your vision? Because sometimes it can be we can overcomplicate some things. Y'all, let me tell you, I am one to overcomplicate some things. You understand? Like I will sometimes. I'm working on me. I'm working on me. Y'all hear me say I'm human before I'm anything else. We think vision has to be this big magical thing, but really it's already inside of you. You already have the vision. It's just you allowing yourself to say, okay, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. Good morning, Miss Parks. This is what I need. So start by asking yourself these questions. What's keeping you up at night? What's that thing that you just can't shake? This thing that you really want to do, this desire in your heart. It is somewhere that you want to go. And I feel like we all have purpose. God has given us all purpose and a place to go. Where is it that we going? Where we going? What we want? What lights you up? What excites you? So I am a coach. And I am a motivational speaker. And I'll be honest, I've told a story briefly before where I y'all, I'm sorry because I told a story briefly before where, at a young age in like fourth grade, fifth grade, we had little talent, what it was, career day or whatever the case. I think it was career day. Okay, so we had the little career day and all that stuff. And from that moment, what I wanted to be was a teacher. From that moment, that has always been something in my heart. The thing is, I didn't want to be a teacher like you. I wasn't trying to be a high school teacher and things like that. I've done substituting for a while, thinking that okay, maybe that's where I was going. No, baby, that wasn't for me. I had to turn back on that thing. And then I started having okay, God, what is it that I'm supposed to teach? Because it was already in my heart. And so I started putting a plan together. As I started thinking about it and things were revealed to me, because I knew I wanted to do a thing, but then I had to really sit on it and accept it. Okay, yeah, this is what I want to do. So I am moving in that direction. What do you see yourself doing? What do you see yourself doing in fear, money, or doubt? If it wasn't an issue? What could you see yourself doing if fear, doubt, or money wasn't an issue? And when you look at those things, and that was one of those things that I had to sit in when it was creating my business, creating my coaching business, doing my workshop, all the things. There was sometimes like for me, I had to look at, I want this business. I don't have the money, but I want this business. I want this thing to take place. And over time, it has taught me, I have had to learn so many, girl, I can learn. There's so much over here to learn and taught myself because what I did, being that I knew I had a vision and so that I didn't allow money to stop me in getting what I wanted, I knew that the vision was there. If the money was going to stop me, then what? My mind went to thinking like, no, if this is where I'm going, then I need to get there. So in order for me to get there, I need to maneuver. I need to continue to think about what it is that I wanted to do. And I needed to do that without being fearful. Not saying I wasn't a little nervous at times. Of course, you get nervous, especially when you're doing something different or new that you've not done before. Of course, when you're allowing yourself to really be in the position to be honest with self and say, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. This is what I want my life to look like. Start with a year. You ain't got to plan out your whole life. In this year, what is it that you see yourself doing if fear, money, or doubt wasn't an issue? So before those things come popping up, because they will become concern at some point, but before you allow yourself to settle on that, what you don't have versus what you want, what is your vision? What's keeping you up at night? What lights your heart? What excites you? Your vision is connected to your purpose. We all have purpose. You can't say that we was all created here without purpose. So being that we have purpose, your vision is connected to your purpose, and your purpose is usually tied to the pain you've overcome, the gifts you carry, the people you're called to impact. That's something to think about. When I look at what I actually coach or teach in, I coach and teach in those areas that I had to grow from. Coach and teach in the areas that I had to heal from, that I've had to like wars, baby, um, that I've had to battle in. It's usually tied to something, to your purpose. It's not tied to just something else. It's tied to your purpose. If your life right now is a reflection of the vision that you've been believing, or the lack of it, what do life look like? So if you want a different future, you have to see things differently. So think about how you're thinking about how you're showing up in life, if that makes sense. So think about how you're thinking about how you're showing up in life. If you're thinking that you can't do it, then 9 times out of 10 it's not going to be done. Mind you, as I say, these are things that I've had to grow to through learning. I have to every day go back to the basics. I have to every day go into that space of writing and crying some days, trying to get this thing together. That's just the truth. It's not that, okay, I have my vision and oh, it's just easy, everything's coming. No, that's just not how it happens. I'm sorry, I wish it was. Now, for some things are more easier than others, but don't set yourself up thinking that, oh, once I got my vision, this is going to be the easiest thing. No, we're going to have some work to do. We are going to have some work that we're going to have to do to allow ourselves to be in a position to get to that thing that we are really wanting to get to. So, first, today, what we want to do today is figure out what we want to do, let's say, for the rest of the year. No, this year's almost over. Let's say for national, because we're preparing for the rest of this year up until next year. So, what is it that we are wanting to do? What's your vision? What's your purpose? What's that thing that keep nugging at you that you've just not done yet because you thinking, oh, it ain't time yet, or maybe it ain't for me, or I ain't got time because I've done and did. See, last week we was talking about boundaries. One of the reasons we was talking about boundaries, because boundaries is going to be needed when you're actually getting to that point to vision out your journey. You're going to have to set boundaries, because some people are going to be so used to you're so used to not visioning your life and doing what everybody else want. Some people ain't going to come through, and some people ain't going to come through and understand and see the change. They're going to expect you to show up the way you've always been showing up. So that's why we talked about boundaries. We have to put boundaries in place, because once we put those boundaries in place and we have our vision in place, then we got some work to do. Some people may not be able to just stand in the space with us. So what are we lacking in life? What are we lacking in life? And we really, really desire to have it. And it just got us, we all discombobulated, because now we're saying I can't do what I want to do. And I don't never get to do, we all these excuses. Now we're putting things on other people. So if you want a different future, you have to see it differently. How are you seeing your life? God gave us an imagination for a reason. We get to imagine. I remember I was a few years ago, a couple of years ago, I was sitting, I was laying on my bed, and me and my friend girl was talking about it the other day, and she was just too tickled about it, but I was so for real. And so I was laying on my bed, and she was at the house. Her and my daughter came, and they was like, "What are you doing? You sleep?" I said, "No, I'm manifesting." And they thought it was funny. It's like, "No, you was asleep." I'm not asleep. I'm manifesting. I looked like I was asleep, but I was manifesting. I said, "No." I think it was like how much I was was it $2,500 or $5,000? It was either 2,500. I can't remember the number, but it was a couple of $1,000s. I was laying there manifesting. I saw, and so I needed, it was better for me to go and just lay down, close my eyes, and I saw myself receiving this money, right? And as the days go by, She'll tell you about it one day we'll talk and she'll tell you about it. But I saw myself actually receiving it. I didn't know exactly where it was going to come from, but I visioned myself receiving it from wherever it was going to come from. And as the days went by, it was within, I think, like a week or so, it started coming. I actually got everything that I visioned myself having that, so I got it. I vision myself living a simple life right now, so guess what? I live a simple life now. That comes the simple life that I live, because again, there's a goal that I have in mind. There's a vision that I have in mind, and so it's all in preparation. It may not look the way you want it to look. Don't let it fool you, but it's all a part of the plan. It's the womb where the vision is birthed. So it's down on the inside where our vision is birthed. You have to visualize your next step, speak it, write it down until it becomes real. If like I say, and I said, this is just a different little notebook. This is something that I'm working on. And so I've been writing all my notes, all my thoughts, everything that's pertaining to it on this, because that's what I'm actually focused and working on at the moment. And I'm sorry, y'all. Maybe if I just turn this little phone off, because I forgot I was supposed to be doing something this morning, but I'll go here in a second. Okay, so we are going to. I'm sorry, y'all. That you see how distractions come. You see how distractions come. It's just a distraction. Okay, so you have to visualize your next step. Speak it. Write it down until it becomes real. You write it down today. It's some things that I'm still working on, that I've been working on for a couple of years. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is just transparency. This is just being for real. It's still some things. Those that know me and know that there's still some things that I'm working on. But before I get to that, I have to do some things that I still need to do. But what I've done is I visualize it. So I want you to grab your little journal, grab your little piece of paper, or put it in your mind. So when you get your little notes, you can write it down. What do you see yourself doing in the next 12 months? Is it a business you want to start? Is it more self-care? If it's, what is it? What do you see yourself doing in the next 12 months? That's a question you need to ask yourself. And I want you to write it like it's happening now. I see myself walking in confidence. I see my business growing. I see myself healed, whole, and walking in purpose. Don't worry about how. Just get it. Just get it out. Just get it out. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. Don't worry about when it's going to happen. And watch, the things that you need are going to come about so that it happens. This is about activating your space and clarity. Hold on. I just had to put that on hold. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I'm so sorry. We're about to wrap it up. We had the little technical difficulties, all the things. But this week, just to reiterate, this week, what we are doing is we are visioning our journey. We're gonna understand that we're gonna be seeing it before we actually see it. So what we're gonna do is come to understanding what is that we're visioning, what is that we want. What is it that we're looking to do? What is it that we're needing? What is it that we're missing? What's keeping us up at night? That thing is your purpose. What's your purpose? Put it in your GPS. What are you going to put in your GPS to get you to where you're trying to go? Understanding that without vision, we just drift. We just move along. We just moving through life, and then we like, oh, we feel like we ain't got nothing going on. We ain't doing nothing. We drain from not doing anything because we don't have vision. And then we do have a vision, but then we don't allow ourselves to receive it as vision, because then we have fear, and then we worrying about what we can't do and what ain't happening, and all the things. We're not worrying about that today. The only thing we want to know is the vision. Write down that thing that you are really wanting to do, the thing that's been tugging at your heart. We're going to write that down without, like I say, fear, without doubt, without other people's expectations. This is a moment that this is all about you. What is it that the whole point of the live today And tomorrow we're gonna walk it out. We're gonna walk it out through the week. The whole point of the live today is vision, understanding what your purpose is, and understanding that your purpose and your vision is connected. In order to get to your purpose, you have to know your vision. And in order to actually illuminate your vision, you have to be willing to walk it out. It's going to take some work on our side. So, what is your vision? So, your assignment today is simple: write your vision and commit to it, revisit it every day. I have things, and it's good because sometimes a little thought come to mind and it seems like a vision, and I write it down and I realize that it ain't gonna work. That's just not what it is. But my vision at the core of it is going to always remain the same. But there's things, as I say, that comes up and, oh, well, do it this way and do it that way. All that come in place. And sometimes it may take a bit longer to get the thing done and get it out or what have you, but I'm not going to move from where I'm going. I'm not going to allow myself to deviate from what my vision GPS is sending me to do, because repetition builds belief. The more you believe it, the more you receive it. The more you believe it, the more you see it, the more you allow yourself to be comfortable with walking through it. The more you see it, the more you'll start aligning your thoughts. The more you see it, the more you start aligning your energy. The more you see it, the more you start aligning your actions. Today, we're going to be diving into day 2, setting goals and aligning your vision, because vision gives direction, but goals give structure. We have the vision. What do we do with this vision? I don't know what to do with it. We're going to go ahead and set some goals to it. And that's what we're going to be working on this week. Why? This is a space that I'm in for myself. It's almost the end of the year, but I'm not going to let the end of the year meet me with trying to figure out what I want to do for the next year. We have to go ahead and set it up now, unless we're going to sleep through the year, unless we're going to walk around and not be happy about the decisions that we make and the things that we're doing, ain't got nothing really going on, still in the same position that we've been in, because we're not visioning our journey. We're not seeing ourselves in a different position. So remember, you're not lost, you're becoming. And your vision is the blueprint for who you are called to be. I can give you the information, but I can't pull your vision out for you. But however, if you just need a little bit more time with somebody to talk this thing out, go ahead and click the link in my bio and it'll take you to my website and book a call with me. Other than that, today, I want you to focus on, you got a lot of more hours in a day. So I want you to focus on, what's my vision? If you're going to rock with me for the rest of the week, if you're going to be looking at this, I don't know when you're looking at it, from where across the world you're looking at it. I don't know what time, what day, in the moment. But today is the day that we make a decision to say, this is my vision. Go ahead and put it at the altar. Go ahead and be okay with it. It don't matter who thinks. Sometimes we be thinking about our vision and it just seems so big. And we think, oh, people going to laugh at it. People ain't going to believe this happening. We ain't thinking about people. We're not talking about people. What is your vision? So when you put money out the way, when you put insecurities out the way, when you put doubt out the way, worry out the way, all those things, what is it that you really desire to have? And that's what we're going to be working on, because we got an amazing year ahead of us. And we are determined not to walk through next year the way we walked through this year. Even if this year was a good year, this year could be a good year. That's fine. That's cool. It's been great. But then we're going to move forward and we're going to do better next year. Every year is going to be a year to do better. Every year is going to be a different opportunity to get what it is that we want. One of my things was to live simple this year. I needed a break. I needed a break from all the ha-has. You know what I'm saying? I really needed a break. I really needed to gather myself. I really needed to set my intentions in a place to where I could really be focused on what it is I want. I wanted a simple life. I didn't want, and it's been simple, baby. It's been very, very simple, very, very simple. But it's been my life, and I have been okay. So I've not been stressing. Like, my stress level this year has been very low. Now my stress has raised a little bit because I done went out there in them streets and I did some things. I done blew a little money and all those things. And yes, I've had moments where stress was kicking me and kicking me, but it was based on the things that I did. It had nothing to do with my vision. But this year, outside of those moments where I caused a little stress on myself, this has been the year that I've expected it to be. I've gotten what I've expected. And according to what I've have, and according to what I expected, I know what I need to be doing for next year. I know how I need to set my mind, set my intentions, and I know how I need to set my goals. But I do know that at this day, this day right here, I already got mine, but mine is written down. I know what I need to do. I know what I want to do for this year. And so I want you today to take, and I want you to, like I say, grab your little journal and write down, what do you see for yourself in the next 12 months? And I want you to write it as if it's already happening. I see myself walking in confidence. I see myself building and growing a business. I see myself healed, holding, and I'm walking in purpose. I see myself going back to school. I see myself getting my degree. I see myself. What do you see yourself doing? And then don't only say you see yourself, take some moments, some days, and actually throughout the day, as you're saying you see yourself doing, close your eyes if you have to and actually see yourself doing it. Again, man, it's been awesome. It's been awesome talking to you all today. It is my time to get up out of here. Again, for those that know me and those that don't, I am Tawanda, Coach Tawanda, a certified personal development and goals coach. I am an author and I am a speaker. And my mission is to help us as women build faith and confidence and set clear goals that allows us to reflect on the life that God has purposed us to have. I love you all. Make sure you have an amazing day on purpose. I have some amazing things coming this week and past. So I'm excited to have you here with me. Y'all go ahead and stay warm. And again, have an amazing day on purpose. And I can't wait to see what your vision look like.